Hey folks, this is ioEther and we're back with some more Royal Tanks. So as you can see, this is Mr. Zeus in the Glorian 40-ton. Now this was a tank that, I'm not going to say I hated it, because I don't and I still own it, but I severely don't like it. Okay, we'll put it that way. It feels a lot like the 1390 in every way except the fact that it's the size of like a submarine. It's humongous. It has no armor, which I'm fine with. It is not as fast as I would like it to be. I know he's going 6 kilometers uphill. Not the point. And I mean, it basically feels like somebody took a 1390 and fed it a whole bunch of like fat for like a year and then told it to go run through the battlefield. Oddly enough, not going to work quite as well as you'd like. But anyways, in either case, there are some people who can play it much better than I can, and I'm going to assume Mr. Zeus is one of them. Now, he is sneaking up the zero line as like one of the only tanks on his team. Well, he is the only tank on his team up this far. That Centurion doesn't realize where he's being shot from, and that's 2 shots go into him before he starts to zone in on Mr. Zeus here. However, of course, now he's in trouble. He's down to 2 shells in his mag. He has a T-44 for some reason who decided to come head on at him. I guess maybe he thought he was reloading. That'd be artillery. Since it is a bat chat at tier 10, that means the second shell could land any moment. That's his. Yeah, so Mr. Zeus used his 1 repair kit to repair his tracks. Now, it was a good use, and I understand that, but it's early in the game to be using a repair kit. Now, I think the T-57 is either calling Mr. Zeus. I'm getting the feeling that the T-50 doesn't think that Mr. Zeus is very good, which is kind of funny to me. But that's okay. So now the T-57 is going to go up against the T-44 by himself. There's of course a T-62A supporting him. Though the T-62A does have problems of its own. There is an E4 down there? Yeah, it's an E4 down there. So he can't really be as aggressive as he wants to. Type 59 up here. Gets shot once by the Type 57. And then, or the T-57, Type 57, wow. And so, Mr. Zeus is just taking advantage of the distraction that the T-57 is providing, and he's just going to come up behind these guys and murder them while they're not looking, basically. Putting shell after shell into these guys, and the T-62A decides that the T-57 is more of a threat than the E4. The E4 is dead. Well, that explains that then. So the E4 died, and the T-62 swung around and took out the T-57. Okay, so that is. We currently have 4 tanks dead. 3 of them were tier 10s, including a Waffentrager E100. Great. So that's a lot of our damage output that is gone right now. Their only dead tier 10 is an Object 268. Lovely. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit of a problem. Though, the likelihood is that these guys aren't going to come up here hunting Mr. Zeus because, of course, he is still fairly healthy. He is a Lorraine. He's had time to reload. And boom, there goes the T-44 that was, like, trying to stick around and guard this place. Okay, so now that he's dead, if Mr. Zeus wants to, he could actually sneak all the way down the zero line without being able to be shot at by the T-62, which is what he's going to do. Good. So he's going to sneak all the way along here, and there's no way he can get shot because there's a ridge in between. But he can get spotted because he is kind of tall, right? You could do this in a 1390 without being spotted. But that's the 1390. Yes, I'm going to compare this thing to a 1390 all game. Anyway, so going right to K0, he starts facing off against an IS-3. Now the IS-3 isn't taking shots at him for reasons I don't. Oh no, there he is. So because it's a Lorian and because he's hulled down, 90% of what the IS-3 should be shooting at can't be hit. So the IS-3 is just firing pot shots at this tiny little turret, and there really isn't much sticking up over this ridge when a Lorian is held down. Now, what the IS-3 doesn't seem to understand is that Mr. Zeus is reloading, and he should either be charging or running away right now. But instead, he's sticking by his building, just kind of hoping that Mr. Zeus will pop back out again. That's not going to happen. A, because we have guys on... Ooh, that is not what that IS-3 expected to come out of there. Now, unfortunately, we're being capped by a couple of TDs, and it's really time to get moving. I personally wouldn't rely on any of my teammates to take care of a cap. So that means you got to get back there, Mr. Zeus. And that's a building, by the way. Running into those will hurt you. And you ran into a building. Good job. Totally never done that in my 1390. So now there's 2 of them on the cap. We're down to 20 seconds left before they win. And our Patton is busy running not towards the cap. Okay. It's not helpful. So one of them jumped off the cap. Now, I don't know why he did, but we're going to thank him because he just gave us a chance to win this thing. As Ferdinand is going to try and block us, his only chance at winning is to block us. Zeus just shoots his tracks off, zips past him. Boom! No! But it's an auto order, so boom again. Now we did take a major shot inside from an ISU. That really hurt. But now the Ferdinand is stuck way out there, and the Patton is taking him on. But the Ferdinand, nope, Ferdinand's dead. Good. Now it's just down to the Patton and the Ferdinand again, and Zeus against 2 Arties. Now, yes, Zeus has no health. That's kind of a problem. And the reason that's a problem is an Artie can literally just sit at TD and wait for him to come around a corner and then one-shot him. He doesn't even have to hit him. He can just hit, the T92 can just hit within like 10 feet of Zeus right now and kill him. Right, so, there you go. So he geared down to like 1st or 2nd automatic gear. Probably 1st automatic gear. And then typed so that he continued moving forward while he was typing, but not at a fast enough pace that he was going to crash into something. That was a good move. I was wondering why he was going so slow, but that's why. So that he could type and move at the same time, so he didn't waste any time stopping. That is something I see a lot of the newer players do, is when, there's only a certain amount of time left, or I see people stop in the middle of the field to type, and it's just like, dude, just put it in automatic, and you can type and drive. It just means you have to be finished driving before you need to turn, that's all. So as long as you're not going that fast, you're still being efficient with your time and energy, and you can still do that typing. Obviously, you don't want to be typing too much in the middle of combat, but you do need to get your point across and be very clear, especially at these tiers, when you want to make sure both of you are on the same page, otherwise you're going to lose this thing. Now, another amazing thing that these 2 are doing, which I don't see a whole lot, and I'm going to pause it right here before this goes any further. One thing, okay, so, wow, I can talk today. RM48 and Mr. Zeus are sticking together. Yeah, they're not like rounding the same corner at the same time, but now that Zeus has spotted out this guy, our Patton can round the other side and take him out. Now, the thing is, they already are actually, I'm gonna guess this was an accident, that this wasn't done on purpose, but they're actually covering one another. The T92 can take a shot at our 48 before he can get a chance to get around this corner and kill the M55. So we're going to have to see how that goes. So it looks like Zeus is just going to leave the M5355 alone, and they're going to go and tag team. Ooh, no, look at that. Ooh, yeah, and they'll get a second shot off. That was totally worth it. The likelihood of the M5355 getting a shot through the window of that building on a snapshot like that is so incredibly low. It was just completely worth Mr. Zeus's time to sit there and aim, and worth potentially dying for it. Now he's just going to jump on Cap, and personally I would... no, they're going to go hunt this guy down. I personally might stay on the Cap for a little bit, depending on how much health I have and that kind of thing. But they're just going to hunt this guy down. Now this is a really great spot to zoom out and do this kind of thing. So he's looking this way. And that way you can tell which way he's looking. And so we're just going to pause this for a sec. What's going on? So yeah. So the Patton's just going to come around and take the shot. And the T92 is looking the wrong way, and I don't know what that was about, but it's all good. We won. That's the important thing. 1600 experience with premium, without his daily double, earning him the first class master badge. But before we go into anything else, so what happened at the end, I think, is that Zeus wanted to give the Patton the chance to kill the guy, because of course if he ran out of that corner he was just going to be dead. So he didn't, and let the Patton go around behind him. But then when the Patton fired, the T92 realized that he was dead anyway, and so he tried to splash damage Zeus to death by shooting the building in front of him. And that's the only thing I can think of that makes any kind of sense as to why the T92 fired almost reflexively as soon as the Patton fired on him. But then, of course, as soon as the T92 fired and didn't do anything, Zeus just rounded that corner and took the kill, which the Patton didn't want in the first place, so it's all good. Okay, so he, of course, got the Defender. I'd like to see how many cap points he actually took out, because there was quite a lot at the end. 80 or 90 by the time he actually jumped on there. Sadly, it doesn't show you how many hits each this was, because there's no way he did 500 damage in a single hit. That was 2 hits. Anyways, I wish it would go back to show me how many hits he got on each guy. That's what I enjoyed seeing. Not much spotting damage, actually more harassing. He was playing it more like a heavy medium this time around, which is good. That's probably what the range should be used as, but I haven't actually been using it like that. I'm still trying to use it like a scout. 333 damage, huh? That's 3,366 damage for 5 kills, and the last kill was donated to him by this guy who deserves some props. 7Gene, good job. Thank you so much for helping us win that game, and of course the Defender medal. Yep. 24 shots fired. I mean, quite a few shell spamming, but that's what the Lorraine does. It's what most of the auto loaders do. You do have to be careful about how many shots you fire versus how many hits you have, that kind of thing, because the auto loaders don't tend to have that many shells in them, and if you run out of shells, then you're just dead anyway. But you do tend to get those rapid fire quick succession. I just hope I hit this one rather than aiming and putting each shot into the target. Only 92 base defense points. Yeah. So if that second guy had stuck on the cap instead of running away, unless he died, I didn't pay attention to that, then they would have won this game and we would have lost. But no, the enemy team got cocky and they left the cap and we stole it. Good job. Of course, barely made any cash, but that is of course because the ammo cost and the repair cost of Lorraine. It was a great game. Thank you so much, Zeus, for staying in. Thank you so much for showing me that this tank does have a hope, and it is just as awesome as I always wanted to believe it was, but never really felt it was. You get me? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hitting that like or subscribe button. I'll see you all next time. It's ioEther out.